Hi everybody and welcome to this video post about expanding your marketing business. Today we're going to talk about how do we expand a marketing business in the best way and how to avoid pitfalls and give some examples of expansion. What this post is not about, it's not about how to start a business. So if you're a newbie, this post is not for you. It's mainly for people who have an established business, small or big, and want to expand it. So the first thing we want to do is to align on what is a business that provide marketing solutions, what are marketing solutions, that just so we know we're talking about the same things. So marketing solutions is a way for us to help businesses to get relevant people to learn about their offering, to convert them into leads or buyers, and to keep them loyal and buying more, which is whatever marketers do. And that corresponds with solutions. So for example, to get people to learn about your client's offering, you would do Google advertising or Facebook advertising or hyperlocal mobile advertising or SMS blasts or email blasts and so forth. To convert them, you would build a mobile responsive website with pop-ups that have call for action, which is relevant to the website. You might have a call to action to purchase something. You might have a call to action to register to a webinar. You might need to provide webinar tools. And to keep them loyal and buying more, you need to initiate loyalty schemes, find ways to provide your clients with benefits, engage them when they have an intent to purchase. And you have also, and we're going to talk about this as well, just touch on that, marketing tech solutions for all the solutions that we're talking about, and also white label providers. But essentially, what we want to align on is that marketing business is a business that helps other businesses be in front of relevant audience, help them to convert those audience into leads or buyers, and keep those buyers and helping the business attract those buyers to buying more and more. And from that perspective, when we're thinking about ourselves as online marketers and where we want to expand, I want us, for the purpose of this video post, I want you to try and put yourself in one of three buckets. Your current state needs to be in one of three buckets. Bucket one, you're currently dealing with the entire funnel. It doesn't mean that you're selling everything we just showed, but you're helping businesses both on traffic, attracting potential customers. You're helping businesses today on somehow converting them into leads or buyers, for example, building them websites, and you're helping them keep those businesses, keep those customers loyal with loyalty schemes, loyalty software, and whatever services that you provide. So you're either a provider, currently an online marketer that provides an entire funnel, or you provide part of the funnel, meaning you have some sort of expertise in mainly one part of the funnel. For example, you're a traffic person, you do Google ads and you do SEO and you do some Facebook advertising, but it's all about the traffic. Or you're a service only provider. Okay? You're currently, maybe you just got started, maybe you got started some time ago, but you became a specialist, and you're currently dealing just with one thing. For example, we know that a lot of agencies are just website agencies. They build websites. They're designers and developers, or just designers working on a platform, and they build websites. Okay? So think of yourself for a second and decide if you're currently, okay? Because it's going to affect the way we're going to talk about the expansion of your business. So think if you're currently providing solutions for the entire funnel. And by providing, I mean selling solutions. Doesn't mean that you're actually fulfilling those solutions. It means you're selling solutions, entire funnel, to attract, convert, and keep customers loyal. Part of the funnel, meaning you're either attracting or converting or keeping them loyal. or you're a one-service agency, a one-service business, and you're a specialist. Now, when you're thinking about expansion, this is why I wanted you to think about yourself in one of those three buckets. When you're thinking about expansion, you need to think about expanding vertically versus expanding horizontally. So let's touch on that for a second. Vertical expansion, for the purpose of this post, means expanding in the same type of service. For example, if you are currently providing a service which is attracting potential customers to your clients, for example, Facebook advertising, you might want to think about expanding into other types of traffic. For example, Google AdWords. For example, RTB or mobile ads on apps. For example, SMSs. For example, cold email blasts. Okay, so that's doing a vertical expansion, and a full solution horizontal expansion is basically saying, look, I provide at least one solution for every part of the funnel, which means attracting clients, converting clients to leads or buyers, and keeping them loyal. Now, when we're thinking about how should we expand, should we become specialists? Should we become full solution providers? There is actually an answer. After doing a lot of research over years, not just us, but many other bodies in the industry, we came to a realization that if you're trying to attract small businesses, okay, if you're an agency selling to small businesses and you want to attract them, the best way you can is actually starting wide and then going deep. Okay? Meaning, you want to be shown as a full solution provider because small businesses, mainly small businesses, but not only, small and medium businesses, would prefer to work with a seller that provides them with one-stop shop for their entire marketing needs the way they see it. Okay? And then you go deep into each one of those sections. Okay? So essentially, and what I'm showing you are logos of companies that provide part of that funnel. So Facebook advertising is for attracting customers. Mono Solutions is a great website building provider for building websites and converting customers into leads. And Freshline is an excellent loyalty and repeat business service. So those three services together would give you a one-stop shop for any small business to come to you and say, help me with my online marketing, right? And after you're doing that, you can expand, and you should, each of those verticals and go deep. So if you're building websites with Mono Solutions and using some sort of third-party provider to build on top of their platform and provide you with excellent websites, that's great. But hold on, there are many more things you can do to actually convert people once they reach a website. You can use very customized widgets that track user behavior and pop up different content in different times. For example, Agendize does that with many widgets, and you can do videos. Okay, we all know that video can be very powerful when trying to convert a client in a prospect into a customer. It's very impressive. It provides a lot of information in a short amount of time on the business. BIE Media does that. And you can also track user behavior outside the scope of your website, going into your blogs and places where you advertise, and track the entire journey and pop up widgets with call for action anywhere in that journey with trending. Okay, that's just a few examples. And by the way, we're not promoting these companies. We're working with some of them, but we didn't choose them because we're promoting them. We chose them because we know they provide an excellent service and reliable service. So even if you guys pick up the phone and call them and use them, I'll be quite assured that you'll get an excellent service, whoever is watching this post. So that's an example of what you need to do expanding vertically as someone who took responsibility over converting leads converting traffic into leads and buyers. But the first thing you should do is expand wide. So if you're currently providing either traffic or websites or loyalty, then you need to expand to the other two. Let's say you're providing Facebook advertising, make sure you can also provide website building and loyalty. You don't have to do both at the same time. You can start with providing websites and after that providing loyalty. If you're only providing websites today, make sure you're providing loyalty and traffic and so on. With Freshline, with loyalty, make sure you're providing a website and advertising. And then, and only then, go deep. That will make your journey much, much better. Your offering much more attractive for small businesses at least. If you're working with enterprise clients that have enormous amount of money to spend on each one of their verticals, then you would want to become a specialist. But those are usually not the people who work with Umbrella. We are a community of marketers that work with small and medium-sized businesses. So what is expanding the right way? Okay, we talked about expanding the right way is expanding wide and then going deep. But let's also dive into the points that you need to touch on when thinking about expanding. The new service that you expand to, when you decide to maybe work with a third-party provider, adopt a new technology, or thinking about a new offering in any kind of way, it needs to be valuable for your customers because you don't want to kill your current customer base with a new bad offering. Okay? That needs to be quality. Fulfillment. A lot of small agencies, and a small agency can also be a 50-people agency. Okay? Is very sensitive to increasing their operational costs or teaching and learning new expertise in order to fulfill a new product. Okay? And I agree, it is problematic, especially when you're small, setting time aside and especially dealing with operational costs and maybe even hiring a new person just to deal with a new product. That's heavy. Okay? I would avoid that, especially when testing a new product offering. After you test and you see the ROI is so great you can add more people, that's fine. But initially I would avoid it. Then you have the sales team can easily learn and sell the services. Okay? Sounds obvious, right? But we don't always think about that. We don't always think about our sellers when we're thinking about new products. We're excited about a new product. We think it's super cool. We understand that value, but maybe it's very cumbersome. Maybe it's difficult to explain. And that's a lot of times is not the right way to go, especially if you're not a specialist. Return and margins. Okay, obviously this is super important to all of us. When we choose a product, we want to choose a product that has a high value, at least in perception, that we can take a lot of money on relative to the cost. Okay, whether it's a wholesale cost because we buy it from another provider, or whether we decide to fulfill it ourselves and we have internal costs, which again I suggest you avoid. This is key, obviously. And that you can quickly create proof of success, right? Think about something that you can immediately try on one or two best clients, create proof of success for your own, and then you can use that proof of success with your customers to expand to your other customers and to new businesses, obviously. And make sure, and it's not always easy, what I'm saying is not always easy to achieve, but it is achievable, okay? Make sure that new services don't resonate with your customer, resonate with your customer. You can quickly try other instead. Okay, so imagine you chose a new service, you chose Freshline, just as an example, because you wanted to get into loyalty, and it didn't resonate with your customers. You tried it on a couple of customers, they didn't see the value, although it's a great service, maybe it wasn't the best fit, maybe you didn't give it enough attention, doesn't matter why. Okay? In that situation, you want to be in a place that if you decide to move away from Freshline or Yext or whatever provider you're working with, you're not stuck. And what I mean by stuck is many of the companies you would try to resell and work with have a minimum commitment. Okay, so imagine having a minimum commitment on a $300 a month client, a product, retail, that you're paying $100 wholesale, which means that client, that account costs you $1,200 a year, and you've committed to the provider to 10 customers, so you owe them $1,200. Sorry, $12,000. And that happens a lot, and it's not their fault. They want to work with people who can sell. It's all good, but you want to avoid being in a position where you now are forced to continue to push this product, even though you can clearly see it's not the most popular product with your customer base. Push this product because you've committed to a specific number. Okay, there are many ways to avoid it, and this post is not about that. I just want you to be alert. Now, when you expand with the umbrella, and yes, we're going to talk about umbrella just for 1 minute because it's an umbrella post. We just want to enlighten you about the differences. When you expand with umbrella, you work only with top tier quality solution providers. Okay, you remember we talked about working with a service provider, working with a technology, however innovative it is, that is not tested and is not of quality, and you sometimes hurt yourself by providing a bad solution to your customer base. When you work with umbrella, you enjoy high margins. So we bulk buy, as you guys know, we bulk buy from the top tier providers, and that's our way to provide you guys with a very high margin, which is 50% margin, without committing to sales. All fulfillment done by the provider, which means you never have to deal with operations to learn how to fulfill. You just concentrate on sales. And even though they do the fulfillment, you own all the customers. Easy sales training and tools for you and your team. It's not only easy, it's also powerful training and effective training and tools to help your team sell more, which is what Umbrella is about. Enjoy social proof on day one because we have a certification program. We basically allow you to become a certified partner of one of the brands that you are working with. And those brands have high visibility. A lot of news articles, TV commercials, and you're basically becoming a certified brand partner, which gives you a lot of social proof. You can also use our case study. You can also use any innovation that they might report on in the news. No sales commitment. We talked on that. Super important. You won't be you won't have an issue if you say to yourself, okay, I don't want to continue selling this product anymore because I don't think it's working with my customers. And now you're breaking your head trying to figure out how you're going to get out of this commitment. So with Umbrella, there is no sales commitment. There is full transparency working with Umbrella and the provider directly. Okay? We don't hide anything. There is no white label. You know exactly who are the companies you work with and on what terms, whether it's Freshline or Yext or Got You or other companies. No hidden costs, no commissions, nothing. And obviously our ongoing support for success, which I think puts us apart from any other reseller initiative, because it's not the only thing. Everything here puts us apart, but this is one of our passions, and I'm not exaggerating. It's one of our passions is to try and really help small marketers learn as fast as they can, execute sales as fast as they can, and really, really compete with their bigger colleagues. Okay? That's what Umbrella is about, and this is why I think you should expand with Umbrella. But even if you don't decide to expand with Umbrella, I hope you guys at least took to heart the suggestions to expand wide and then deep, and what to watch out for and what to do when you decide to expand. If you register to Umbrella as a member, which is, by the way, is free, you will get from time to time, we don't promote a lot, but from time to time, you will get information about quality opportunities that you might want to expand your business into. Usually, very innovative, always quality providers that you might want to partner with. So I suggest you guys register, and I hope you enjoyed the video blog, and I'll see you in the next article. Bye.